Hi everyone, Charles from the Food People here. Our team of trends analysts at TFP have been busy analysing the current and future impacts of COVID-19, and we've put together this special episode to look at the 10 biggest shifts within food that we expect to see manifest in the post-COVID world. I want to start with hygiene to the fore. That's the first one. Social distancing isn't going anywhere fast, and with anxiety running high over who has touched what, hygiene will come into increased focus. New cleaning standards and practices will become the norm, with companies and brands making these visible to customers in order to alleviate stress and anxiety and ultimately build trust. So expect to see things like touch-free handles, new tools for non-human touching of screens and buttons, developments in tamper-evident packaging, no-touch service automation in food service, a new generation of drive-through stores and food concepts that allow collection and pickup without human contact, heightened focus on staff health and welfare and wellness in both retail and food service, and the perceived cleanliness of plant-based meat, cellular meats, and indoor farmed foods. Second, price sensitivity and value. It's inevitable that post-pandemic consumer spending patterns will change, and that prices will rise, not only due to the cost of product, but also the associated costs of social distancing measures. With a global recession looming, however, consumers are in no mood for the cost of food to increase. So what do we expect to see? More deal seeking as shoppers become increasingly promotion conscious. Online food calculators to plan and make weekly shops go further and money last longer. Refocusing on in-home occasions, creating delicious recipes at lower cost, continued focus on ambient, tinned and frozen foods, creating excitements with those little touches of luxury, and the consumption of seasonal vegetables due to price, and crafted and artisanal food to justify value. 3, the Corona generation restaurant. With social distancing and health anxiety here for some time, restaurants reopening will need to think smart and leverage the online channel to help them in the Corona generation, as well as considering the use of space. So we expect to see a huge focus on takeout and also roadside pickup of pre-ordered meals. A focus on the customer that matters, probably the more local clientele, those who can drive through or click and collect or have food delivered at reasonable cost. Also, robotic restaurant cooks and servers, upscale vending, simplified kitchen operations. The food service channel diversifying their income streams to take out into frozen meals, prepped food boxes, and retail products to service the locality. Well documented, widely communicated, and very visible safety and hygiene regimes and standards. The open kitchen could well have a new relevance not only for the theatre, but also the physical and visual demonstration of hygiene and safe working practices. 4, delivery and digital. We're living through absolutely a digital revolution, and everybody has connected virtually and ordered online for delivery and seen how easy and convenient that is. So the competitive landscape in food delivery will continue to be transformed. So what do we expect to see? Digitization of the convenience store, evolutions in driverless, contactless, robotic and drone deliveries, dark kitchen restaurant style meals delivered locally, the continued rise and power of the aggregator, the one who has the power to deliver, and a shift in retail site utilization, the store, the storage and the car park, and that model shifting and changing to accommodate the movement towards collection and delivery. 5, planning and routine. Planning will be big. Meals aren't just nourishment, they form the structure of the day. Planning helps consumers take back control and ease anxiety. The renaissance of the weekly or bulk grocery shopping trip. Online platforms and apps to help with recipe planning and grocery shopping to manage spend. Meal and exercise regimes to lift mood and to stay in shape. In-store planning for swift shopping and contingency stocking just in case. 6, taking action for the planet. The world has experienced a global shock, leaving us reeling at its fragility, highlighting the climate crisis and how insecure global food security really is. Now is the time that we expect to see action to shore up biodiversity and food systems to avert another global shock. So we expect to see a widening out of food diversity. As we've said before, at the moment, 75% of the world's food comes from just 12 plants and 5 animal species. We expect this to shift and to change. A focus on food loss and waste, as it makes up for around 10% of total global greenhouse gas emissions. Renewed interest in heirloom varieties of food, so widening diversity. Championing local, seasonal and homegrown produce and products, lessening and reducing food miles. Farming for a new age where impact and biodiversity and sustainability are paramount. 7, working from home. Here at the Food People, we've been working from home for 15 years, wondering why others don't do it. Now we've been forced to adapt, and both employee and employer have seen the benefits, questioning whether there's a need to go back to the old ways. Whether it be full-time or part-time home working, we expect to see working from home to become part of many of our lives. So what impact does that have? We expect to see ready-to-bake, ready-to-eat lunch and breakfast solutions specifically designed for consumption in the home. More substantial in-home snacking and grazing. Loving your freezer. In-home healthy snacking, home fitness apps and programs, and of course, the changed lunchtime landscape out of home. 8, health and well-being. The crisis has put a spotlight directly on health, and going forward, consumers are going to be searching out products to not only support their general health, but also to be fighting fit for the virus. We expect to see a continued focus on gut health, as gut health has been linked to immunity and brain health, so pre, pro and postbiotic and fibre, focusing on mental wellness through good nutrition, sleep routines, exercise and familiar comforts, not forgetting the calming companionship of pet ownership as well. Functional and fortified foods that purport to support immunity, beta-glucans, vitamins D, C, E, K and zinc, all on the wish list, and of course keeping body weight under control. 9, the upskilled nation. Most of the population has had to cook over the past weeks and months, learning from experts on social media and showing off their successes too. This upskilled nation may well be wanting more, continuing to stretch their culinary repertoire, albeit from a cross spectrum of skill bases. So we expect to see hacks and pre-made products to help and support that upskilled home cooking classes and recipe clubs, and more of those. Diversifying home cooked meals from the usual top 10 favourites. Keener understanding of food and seasonality. Regional food and comfort favourite recipes being updated. More meal, baking and dessert kits. And world and global cuisine being that virtual travel on the plate. And overall a renewed appreciation of food. And 10, plant versus meat. Plant-based dominated last year's food trends and indeed the year before, and it's likely to maintain its relevance now, also adding hygiene halo to its list of appealing attributes to go along with health, welfare and sustainability in a world where there is an added anxiety between meat and human health. We've already seen this shift start in post-pandemic Asia. We expect to see meat alternatives and plant-based and vegan with a new hygiene halo. Plant focus to drive better personal health. Price, though, will be a factor in plant-based meat alternatives. The continued trend toward flexitarianism and meat reduction, eating less but better quality meat, proliferation of plant-based choice in QSR, and cellular meats with a hygiene halo. In this article, we've highlighted the 10 biggest shifts and manifestations within food and drink that we expect to manifest in a post-COVID world. By considering these and how you as a business, brand, startup or entrepreneur pivot and adapt in consideration of them will mean that you're well positioned to succeed in the next normal in food and drink. So do join our community for details of the upcoming articles and episodes that we're producing in response to COVID-19, and of course, for all the latest food and drink trends foresight. Visit thefoodpeople.co.uk and complete your details to join our community at the footer of the page. Stay safe, keep well, and thanks for listening.